Hi, everyone. Welcome. This is the question and answer section of the call on how to get your life back from Morgellons and other skin parasites. Today is Sunday, November 20th.
Great. Now our topic was preparing for the holiday feast, and you wanted to add something, a comment?
Yes. The one thing I wanted to add, and it took me a long time to learn this, is that the diet isn't forever. And I know you said, if you're just joining the diet and you go off it for Thanksgiving, to get right back on it again. But I think it's also really important to let people know that over time their bodies will heal and they will be able to go to other stages of the diet.
Yes, thank you, because stage 1 is super strict, and if you play your cards right, if you're good at following instructions, and you read ingredients on everything, and you follow these programs, because we have several recordings that are about the diet and how people make mistakes, for simple ones, like, for instance, stevia is on the diet, but they think any stevia will work, but you got to read the ingredients, because if you read the ingredients of many of the stevias out there, they have actually sugar in them, other ingredients, even diamond salt has sugar in it. So you need to be very cautious and very careful. And if you are, you can get to stage 2 in about a week and a half or so. And stage 2, wow, we add walnuts and green apples and bananas, and it becomes much more palatable. And then stage 2, as you go along, you can experiment, in a couple of months with some of the stage 3 foods. Which is getting back to eating almost everything. Where I am, I can eat everything I want. Okay, so we're in the Q&A section here, and let's open the phone to someone. Anybody, Chris, who we have?
Yeah, I have a question about the hydrogen peroxide. I know you all have it in the store, and if you could just expand on that a little bit, how is the best way to take that, to ingest that? And I know it's food grade, right, that you all have?
Yes, it's food grade hydrogen peroxide. Now, for a long time, we only could get 35% hydrogen peroxide, which is very, very high concentration, very dangerous. You got to wear rubber gloves and goggles, and I stopped carrying it. It was just too risky for me to have it. And fortunately, I found the company that produces 8% hydrogen peroxide, which is a third the concentration of 35%, and much easier to deal with. So as far as, I'm not a walking encyclopedia. When you go to the site and you look at the hydrogen peroxide, it tells you everything you need to know about it. If you go into the blog, and please, everybody get familiar with the blog, it's at Best Morgellons, Best, B-E-S-T, morgellonscure.com. Then go to the blog and use whatever search function you have on your device and look for peroxide, and go to the articles, and it'll tell you how to take it. It may also tell you all that information on the in the store as well, how to take it. Also in the book it's described. So if you go to the book and look in the table of contents, you'll find hydrogen peroxide. Go to those pages and it'll tell you about it as well. Thank you for the question, Anna.
Thank you.
Who's next?
I'm continuing to follow the diet as best I can, and whenever I start getting little bumps, I back off and I go back to the beginning, because I'm very, very experimentally motivated, and I'm always trying to put new things into the diet. And like I tried the apples, the green apples, even though I'm a beginner, and I'm probably got 15 days on the diet. So I can do green apples, I can do bananas, very limited, and I can drink goat's milk. And so for me, that's just phenomenal. And I appreciate the new recipe. I wanted to say this. I love the new recipe for the tortillas that Richard posted from Robin. really excellent. That I really like the flavor and everything. But I wanted to also say that I do not feel that I am ready to go to Thanksgiving. I think that if I gave this to my grandchildren, I could not live with myself ever. So I am withholding my being from attending any holidays until I am absolutely positive that these things will not infect somebody. Thank you.
Thank you, Joy. And I think that's really great advice for everybody to take. I mean, it's just like, we had a year and a half or two of COVID where we didn't really go out because we didn't want, it's along the line of the way things have been for the last couple of years. So people understand that. And I think it's the best option at this point until you get yourself to the point where you could go maybe 2 weeks and be free of any activity and really know that you've got things working and you're getting your life back. So thank you, Joy. I sent out an email this morning. Joy is over the moon, so I'm glad you came on and shared your enthusiasm. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Who's next, Chris?
First of all, I want to say I've already called my relatives and let them know I'm on a special diet that helps my skin condition and kind of already worked that out. I have some questions about the strongyloids.
Strongyloides?
Lyme disease. Yeah.
Okay.
Since I just started the Fenben, and I feel like I'm having some success with that. I just started it this weekend. I can pretty much assume that that's probably a chunk of what I've been dealing with. So I'm going to follow the directions of taking it 3 days on and 4 days off. I kind of have a question as how long do you do that? And I finally got a nurse practitioner to listen to me. She listened to your recommendations.
Well, let's go question by question first. Let's handle the Fenben. Okay. First of all, the Fenben is I guess you could call it a worming medication. Now, anybody who has questions about any of these medications, Fenben, fenbendazole, same thing, Lefiniran, ivermectin, we did a video a few weeks ago with a representative from shopformorgellons.com, and please look at that video. Now, the dosage that you are using for Fenben is not, according to her, a deworming dosage. So it's amazing that you're getting any results this quickly. It's the kind of
444 isn't.
No, that's about enough to deworm a 10-pound dog. Okay.
Okay.
So what this is according to her, you're going to be doing this for 3 to 6 months, perhaps longer, and it is a slow process of getting rid of them. See, ivermectin is a over and done with kind of thing in a day or 3 days. I don't like ivermectin. I don't have people getting.
I've already done 7 weeks of it.
I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it. But
it didn't work.
Yeah, I don't recommend it, and never have recommended it. So do not let anybody think that I ever recommend ivermectin. All right. It works for cattle, I guess. It works for hogs, and things like that. But generally, it's a status quo kind of medication. They have it on the website because everybody wants it. And if you want it, you may as well get it from a reputable source. If you're not going to listen to me, then go some website and get horse paste type of medication. So Fenben, it's a slow process. It inhibits, it starts, as I understand it, and I could be wrong, there are, I think she said nanotubes or something from the organisms, and it inhibits the ability of them to extract food from your body. That's my take on it. I could be completely wrong, but it eventually starves them out, is my take on it. I could be wrong, but it's over months. And the results that people get are far, far better by doing it this way than the quick ivermectin kind of thing, which is kind of happenstance, and I don't know why it just doesn't produce the results when it comes to dealing with our skin parasites and our intestinal skin parasites, not intestinal parasites. Okay, next question.
I did look that up, and if my doctor wants to prescribe something like albendazole, or I don't remember what it was called.
Well, albendazole, according to Dr. Luna, albendazole is the human equivalent to fenbendazole.
Okay.
So if you're doing the Fenben, you don't really need the albendazole.
Okay.
But again, I don't give medical advice, and listen to your doctor. Okay, on that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
Well,
I'm
I
not
haven't
gonna
got the test results. So, and they did a Lyme disease test, and I don't know if I have that.
Have what?
I feel like the Lyme disease.
Okay, Lyme disease, you can pretty well bet if you are dealing with Morgellons, it's a 90% chance that you're dealing with Lyme disease. Okay, 90% chance, which is pretty damn high. The only test I recommend, and I basically suggest, my opinion from what I've read, Dr. Axe and other experts, is that tests are a waste of damn money. Good resources thrown away by getting tests. You get false negatives, get false positives, or whatever. If you absolutely have to have a test, go to Fry Labs in Scottsdale, Arizona, and order a microscopy test, which is the type of test that I had many years ago, and you can see the pictures in the book that were provided for the test. But it's a waste of money. Just assume you have Lyme disease. Lyme disease is no big deal. It almost killed me 13 years ago, but I'm alive and functioning. And you start with the Morgellons, you start with our Pack of Life. It's also now I'm not saying this is a cure, all right?
So it's not antibiotics, because isn't that what they would want to start throwing at you as antibiotics?
Oh, yeah, we use a very powerful antibiotic. We use acillin, which is our Garcillin. Garcillin is go to Wikipedia. Wikipedia says that acillin, which is in our Garcillin, we have the most powerful acillin products available in capsule form, is an antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal, antiprotozoan, and antiparasitic, all wrapped up in one, according to Wikipedia. So we do use a very powerful antibiotic that doesn't destroy the gut flora. This is the problem with the other antibiotics.
Is not on the diet, is that correct? I mean, does it feed parasites, antibiotics?
Antibiotics. Well, antibiotics
parasites as well?
No. Antibiotics don't feed the parasites, and antibiotics is the approach that is used by LLMDs, Lyme literate medical doctors. It is the approach that's generally used by the doctors who are affiliated with Charles Holman Association. Dr. Saverly, Dr. Cornish, Dr. Bransfield, and the list goes on. They generally use antibiotics. I was on them for 6 months. I was on Bactrim, Biaxin, and Zithromax, 3 powerful antibiotics in rotation. They destroy gut flora. And guess what? After I got off of them, Lyme disease almost killed me. So they did nothing. Okay? So our Pack of Life is to build, this is what we're allowed to do. We can educate you, and we can suggest supplements to build health and immune functioning. And that's what our Pack of Life does. It has the
I've already got a good part of your Pack of Life.
You want the whole pack. You don't want to cheap on the pack. You want the whole pack. The multiple vitamins are designed for Lyme disease.
Okay.
All right? They're formulated for Lyme disease by a doctor in the UK. The ionic minerals are the best minerals that you can possibly get.
I got those. Those are pretty awesome.
The Max 1 is the best thing that you can do. And as we talked about it later, earlier, Laura, you can go up to 6 or 8 capsules a day.
Yeah, I'm using that in the Garcilium. I read about how good that was, and
right. So let me
that.
tell you, the Max 1, the glutathione detoxifies your cells. Lyme spirochetes thrive on toxicity, and
So are you trying to starve them out? Is that kind of...
It removes their food, yeah. It gets rid of their cesspool. They live in a cesspool, and then if you have mercury, cadmium, and pesticides accumulating in your cellular structure, you're only making them happy. And the glutathione detoxifies, gets that out of there. And then the acillin in our Garcilin, game over.
Okay.
Now, if after you do that, you still need treatment, and I'm not saying that this is a treatment. This is to build health and immune functioning.
Is this like a pack of life for 3 to 6 months kind of deal?
No, pack of life forever. Pack of life forever.
Okay.
Not for 3 to 6 months. Pack of life forever. You know, because long after Lyme disease is gone, there's, you know, flus and viruses and all kinds of things. You need to keep your body immune functioning forever, not just for 3 to 6 months to get over Morgellons. Okay. Thank you. Any other questions?
I am taking your amino acids blend, and I'm having a lot of good results with that. So that helps as well.
Yes, and you're taking also the Agro Relief enzymes?
Yes, I've got it.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, that's the pack, and that's what you do to minimize detox reactions, because our Garcilin, our Max 1, can create incredible detox, and you want to avoid being sick with inflammation and pain and all kinds of stuff and nauseousness from detox. So there are 2 approaches to dealing with detox reactions. One is Zeolite, that you get that on Amazon, and the second is a combination of digestive enzymes. We have our Agro Relief and the complete amino acid formula, and that, in my opinion, is a better way and more.
That has helped me tremendously.
Yeah, more beneficial to your body. Your body needs this more than it needs Zeolite, although Zeolite has other benefits, but your body needs the amino acids. Okay, thank you, Laura.
Well, thank you. All right.
Keep coming back. Okay.
Thank you so much for all the information that you provide. I really appreciate it. I'm thankful I came across your information recently. I was battling for months what I thought were bird mites, and when I finally realized, and I kept seeing Morgellons and bird mites on different websites trying to fight this every way that I could, every way that I knew. I finally just said, okay, maybe this is Morgellons, and started going down that path. But prior coming to that path, everything I was doing was so similar to a lot of this stuff, the soaks and the baths and the oils and the supplements. My diet is very, very clean already, but there are some things that I'm gonna change because I can't have like rosemary and on the diet, and oils, things that I thought like coconut oil would be okay. So those are changes that I am having to make. But I do have some questions, and I hope it's okay.
Absolutely.
One thing, I started with a couple months ago when I thought I was losing my mind trying to clean every aspect of my house because I have 2 children, and I was terrified of this. Again, I thought it was a bird mite, but I was reading all the same concept. This is very contagious, and I didn't want it to get on them, and all the crawling in my eyes and ears and nose and my body and the lesions. I didn't want it to go to them. I almost lost my mind, and I came upon ozone, and I ozoned my house. I've been ozoning my house for months now. And I know that that's something you recommend. I'm very chemical sensitive. I'm concerned about the ammonia. Is ozone enough? Is the ozone I've been doing? I did do 3 weeks of basically 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the night. So more than 21 days actually I did this for. I even ended up leaving my house to do it. came back, and I run it now when I can leave the house. I put it on. Is that enough?
Well, ozone is very cumbersome and very complicated because you have how many rooms in your house?
I have 4 bedrooms. Yeah.
Big house, okay. And how many rooms do you do at once?
Oh, I do the whole house. So I did have a system that was saturating the home. I was able to purchase a system, and it was more than enough for my square footage based on the calculation, even the calculation you give.
Okay.
So it's good enough for a 4,000 foot house, and 4,000 square foot.
Do you have central air ductwork?
I have ductwork, yes. And
okay.
I would run. It was multiple machines, and one of them would go by the vent, and I would put the fan on constant, and it would run through that, through and other machines.
All right, so you're doing it correctly. You're getting your ductwork. You're getting the all the rooms done simultaneously, and you do this. Yeah, it's cumbersome, and it's a lot of work, and you have to be out of the house. And how many hours do you run the ozone machine?
2 hours.
2 hours straight?
2 hours. Yeah.
2 hours straight, okay. The one thing, the problem with ozone, and the thing that you need to guard against is that it can deteriorate rubber and I think rayon, things of that nature. It can erode even wiring, like your toaster or your refrigerator or things like that. If you're doing too much.
I have experienced that because the 2 weeks that I did leave and run it, I was running it 1 hour on, 1 hour off, 1 hour on for 2 weeks, and so we came back to sticky couch and a lot of things.
It can be a problem. So we recommend.
I took it as a loss already. I've lost so much in this fight that.
Yeah, we recommend a half hour on, half hour off, half hour on, half hour off, half hour on, and then off. So that's what our recommendation is. Not so the, but again, ever since we found the electrostatic sprayer a year or two ago, I mean, I've been off on that. As opposed to the cumbersome aspect of using. And you don't have to leave the house. You can use enzymes. Our fellow Chris did a program a couple of weeks ago about how enzymes are used. Now, if you're dealing with mold or fungus, then you need to use more than just the enzymes. But oftentimes, just using the enzymes and you dilute them and put them in the electrostatic sprayer, you can do a whole room, a whole bedroom in about maybe 15 seconds or less. So 4 times.
I had Clean Free, the enzyme cleaner, but I'm assuming in the electrostatic machine it's different because I was doing it multiple ways. I was spraying, I was cleaning, I was putting in everything. I even got a fogger. But I'm assuming what you're saying is the electrostatic machine is different. It will make it.
Well, yeah, the fogger, you will never, ever see me recommend a fogger or even try to sell you one. They're expensive and they're worthless because a fogger doesn't, I mean, you can do a fogger. Say you do your room and you could do a fogger. Now, go to your door and the handle on your doorknob. It'll coat the front of it, but it won't coat the back of it. All right?
Right.
Now, when you use the electrostatic sprayer, everything gets coated. It puts on an electronic charge, and anywhere that fog is, it gets wrapped around, and it coats every place, into crevices, into everything. So it's far more effective.
Okay. Another question I have is that I've been coming across a lot about nanotechnology, and that everybody has this, and just not everybody is feeling it, and it's kind of scary, and that you can never overcome this. And so I guess I'm asking the question, but I'm also know the answer is to know that people have overcome this, that it's not.
Well, I no longer have it.
Okay.
but I'm susceptible to it. I can be infected by it, and it's a non-event because I know what to do. So yes, it's everywhere. Now, whether I guess the seeds of it are in all of us. This is just a guess on my part. I'm not, it's not part of what I need to know to solve the problem. All right. There are a lot of people out there trying to figure out what it is. To me, it doesn't matter what the hell it is. I know what to do about it. That's more important than knowing what the hell it is. All right. Yes. So they can study, they can figure out its chemical composition. So what? I don't care. I know what to do about it. That's the important part. And so all of us may have the seeds within us, but whenever we're talking about disease of any kind, what is important is the load. So for instance, you can have, I don't know, maybe 3 cells of the flu in your body, and it won't do any good. There'll be a problem. 3 little cells won't be a problem. But somebody sneezes in your face and you get 1 million of them, well, you got a problem. That's a big load. All right, your body's got to do a lot of work. So likewise with Morgellons is that you may have them and it's no big deal, but if you're exposed to a load of the organisms, well, then it could overwhelm your defenses in a moment and be a problem. Then it behooves you to know what to do about it, which is what we're all about.
Right. Is it safe for me to treat my children as a preventative, or
treat them how?
Just do any of the process with them, the debridling soap, the
debriding soap can be used on babies. In fact, we're looking for people with marketing expertise. We'd like to put it into a baby lotion, rash for baby rashes and stuff like that. So, yes, it's completely safe. The chemical analysis of the debriding soap is liquid carbon, about 78%, and the rest of it is nitrogen. So it's like charcoal, and it's no more dangerous than consuming charcoal to deal with gas problems.
Okay, like an activated charcoal.
Yeah.
But it would help protect them also.
Well, absolutely. They can. You can bathe them. They can bathe in it. It cleans their skin. I mean, every human being on Earth would benefit if they took a bath every day because it would clean their skin. It would, any organisms that they may pick up, it would extract them, help extract them. I mean, if you have warts or things like that, you can apply the lotion, or you can apply the body wipe, the more concentrated, and it will, clean out those warts.
Okay.
It'll clean out skin fungus. It'll clean out everything. And any kind of skin problem, it's going to clean it.
But they don't have a skin problem. Every once in a while, they'll show me something that I think is like a bite, like I've had, and I'm terrified.
That's the good news, because by using it, they avoid getting skin problems. Perhaps it keeps their skin clean, so they won't perhaps have skin. Now, I won't make that claim.
I want to protect them from me right now.
Yeah.
So,
well, it helps. It would help to have them bathe in it as well. Have them bathe in the, it's a half a cap of Nature's Gift, not a whole lot in bath water, and it's good. You can put in some apple cider vinegar, or put in some lavender. It smells good as a disinfectant, and they'll be happy, and their skin will be as clean as it can possibly ever get.
Okay. Can you remind me the website where I can find all the products? Because the only one I can find is the debriding soap.
Okay. You have an email that you responded to get the program. If you look at the very top of the email, it should have the link. But it's you can get to it 2 ways. THE organicskincare.com. theorganicskincare.com, or the old it still links up, parasitestore.com. parasitestore.com. Either way will take you to it. Okay. Thank you. Keep coming back. We're here to support you in getting your life back.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
The first one says, I have been dealing with this for 3 years now, and I have been using the debriding soap just about every day. It has gone through several different stages with the parasites that I have, and the doctors tell me it's all in my head, that I have these marks all over my body, but I have these marks all over my body. I literally have worms coming from my skin, and I have seen things that are like little gnats come out of my body. It's disgusting. This has cost me a job, and it has also ruined my relationship.
Yes, it's sad, the effect that these have. Now, she said she's been using the debriding soap, and I'm wondering why you're still having these problems, because, well, number one, the debriding soap is not going to stop this unless you're on the diet. So I didn't get a response back from her, but I sent an email, are you making the diet work? Because many people, for some reason or other, they just skip to the end result and think the debriding soap is the solution. They buy it and think, God, I'm solving my problem. No, the diet, it's free. You don't even need the debriding soap. The diet, it's free. So I sent her an email, are you making the diet work? I haven't heard back from her. And she goes on?
Yes, to say, I have no idea what I'm going to do if I don't get this under control. My doctor does believe that I have some kind of skin condition, and he does treat the symptoms. He gives me mupirocin ointment and mesodol cream, but the tubes are very small, and I have to use it sparingly and literally all over my body. I told the doctor that sex is painful, that I believe these things are in between my legs, and he told me after doing an internal that I have no good bacteria in me, and I am to eat yogurt and take probiotics and eat plasma. I know.
Yes. Okay. I'm sorry.
I know all these problems stem from the disease that I've been dealing with. The doctor just doesn't want to hear that. He gave me Zoloft and the ointment, and then I deal with it at home. I bought the book about 2 years ago. If somebody could reach out to me, I would be forever grateful. Wendy.
Again, here we have advice from a doctor that is, the doctor is not familiar with our program or how it works or whatever, but probiotics are only going to feed many of these organisms, especially Columbella, springtails. So that would be a big mistake. It's far better to start with prebiotics. They're food, leeks, onions, raw onions, cocoa, just to name 3 of them, and build your gut flora. So the antibiotics really that typically are used, if they're used long term, destroy gut flora. She talked about having an antifungal. So it's just they try to solve one problem by creating, and they end up creating another problem, and that's really silly. Again, our acillin would be far more useful to go that route than go with the stronger antibiotics. But I'm not here to conflict her doctor. It's just we have an alternate way of doing things. Okay, you have another email there, a scathing one?
Yeah, let's see.
I love this one. I get one of these emails about once every 3 months. So let's look at what this lady has to say. And the interesting thing is I checked it out, and she's opened up about half of the emails that she gets, as all of you get. She's opened up about half of them. And after a few weeks, she still comes up with this scathing comment here. So go ahead.
I've been dealing with this. All you do is rip off 6 people. You don't know it's not contagious. Nothing in my house. Nobody else in my house infected with Morgellons, and that soap you sell does nothing to help in cap. So get an education and help with products that really help, or stop ripping off the sick. There's a place in hell for people like you. Do not contact me again.
Okay. So there you go. This is an example of somebody who has not read the book, not started the diet. Once you give me your name and your email when you register, you are part of a program. You didn't have to spend $1 to join this program. You get all the information for free. The book, the diet. I don't sell you the diet with any big promises and $1,000. The diet is worth $1 million if you had it, but I don't sell it to you even for $1. I don't even sell you stage 2 or stage 3. Okay. So you're in a wonderful program, and if you don't take advantage of reading a free book that has over 224 5-star reviews on Amazon, more than any other book on the subject. If you don't start the diet, if you don't attend these sessions, if you don't email me questions. Now, I'm sorry, one lady said she's been emailing me, and I don't know where they're going. Maybe they're going in my spam. I don't check my spam, unfortunately. It's got about 500 messages, and I click them out. I don't even look at them. So you need to take advantage, because, as I said earlier, the soap, wonderful, but it is not going to cure you or even make a difference unless, in my opinion, you start the diet and make it work. So I'm really sorry to get emails like this, and I don't even want to email this person back, because she'll just get pissed off and go to Amazon and give me a 1-star review, and I'll be, so sorry to her. It's life. Okay.
Jessica has a question. One more.
Yes. Hi, Jessica.
Hi, I'm sorry. I have another question. So I know especially the first 2 weeks, we can't have any oils, but
no. You can have real butter. You can have rice bran oil and animal fats.
Yes, but what I mean by oils is like olive oil, coconut oil. But I see that it is in the creams, so it is okay to put on the skin, just not internally.
That's correct.
Okay, I just want to make sure, because I want to do this right. You
can apply anything on your skin. Now, I did get one other email from Chad, who wanted to come on the call and share his solution to Morgellons. And oftentimes when Robin does the intro, she says, if you find something else that works, make sure before you ask Richard or share it on the program that you've done it for a period of time. Bottom line is almost anything works for a few weeks, for a week or two, and then all hell falls apart. But this fellow, he finally found his solution. So I wrote him back. I wanted to know more about what he wanted to share. And he said, well, finally this past July, I suggest the parasitic component was found in a skin biopsy, an elongated chitin structure with pigtail-like projections. Also, recent skin cultures have found Pseudomonas, I can't pronounce this, aeruginosa, Staphylococcus aureus, and Citrobacteria casei. And he's saying that it even reoccurred after treatments with Cipro. But his doctor finally found that doxycycline and clindamycin and fosfomycin and even oral ivermectin were very helpful. Okay, so what's the big deal here? All right. Now, one of the things that I've been saying forever is, well, at least since Mother's Day of this year, is that Morgellons is a very powerful, but not, Morgellons is very important. Look at a chessboard. A chessboard, the king is Morgellons. He's the most important piece, but not the most powerful. The most powerful pieces are the queen, the bishop, the rook, the knights, and all the pawns. In fact, the pawns can sometimes be more powerful than the king. All right. So what's important is to deal with the other pieces, the cofactors. So in that call back on Mother's Day, we went through all the cofactors. I think Laura was talking about strongyloides a little earlier. I mentioned that. We didn't really get into talking much about it, but there's strongyloides, there's Lyme disease, we talked about that, there's fungal. In fact, there's one guy on YouTube who claims it's fungal. Morgellons is fungal. And everybody goes down these pigeonholes. Well, it may, 90% of us may have fungal aspects, 90% of us have Lyme disease, 20% of us have strongyloides, not 100% of us have intestinal parasites. Once Morgellons comes along, all these cofactors suddenly become very powerful. So here we have three kinds of bacterial infections: Pseudomonas, Staphylococcus, the Citrobacteria. They're all basically bacterial infections that may not really be a problem for most of us until along comes Morgellons. And fortunately for him, he had a doctor that tested for this and got treatment for it, and bang, his Morgellons apparently got better, which was what he probably wanted to share with us. Well, guess what? We have Garcillin, we have Acillin, and that's very powerful stuff. So typically, many of these cofactors are pretty well dealt with the protocol that we have. So that's something to keep in mind. All right, anything you'd like to add, Mary, before we wrap up this segment?
Yes, I would like to add, Richard, when talking about the diet, the other important thing is keeping the food journal.
Why? Sounds like a lot of work.
Well, you know me, I'm allergic to everything. So it's very difficult to determine what's causing your problem if you can't nail down the specific food. And sometimes it's things that you don't suspect.
True. Yeah, so, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because we are just introducing that. I mean, you mentioned that you have sensitivities to a lot of things, and I know that you're not the only one. There are other people on this call that have sensitivities, and you're not really sure. Maybe, I mean, after all, if you purchase something like the kinase enzymes for us, I forget how much they are, $50 or so, but if you have sensitivities to that, you wasted $50. So we're now producing sample packs. So you can get a sample pack of 10 of the Max 1, 10 of the kinase enzymes, 10 of many of the products right now, and try them out and see if you're compatible with it. But don't expect that only 10 are going to make a difference. All right? It's just to see if you're compatible and can take them, because it can often take a month or two before these supplements really start producing the desired results. So I wanted to add that. All right, I guess that basically concludes this portion of the program.